Welcome to the Accu-Rate Fire Sprinkler Estimating Program number 104. This is designed as a service and retrofit program. It is in simple Microsoft Excel or Apple numbers format. You will estimate your jobs 10 times quicker than your competitor. Your customers will call again and again because they recognize that you are in the computer age with quick and reliable pricing. You will provide your sales agents with reliable bidding data and you with absolute control. To illustrate, we will replace a backflow preventer, replace a branch line, retrofit office sprinklers, perform a dry system estimate, replace a flow switch, and review the Viking and data pages. Note how quick you can do this work. The first thing we'll do is replace a 8-inch backflow preventer. As you know, the backflow preventers today are a little shorter than the old ones. So therefore we'll add a foot of pipe in there of 8-inch pipe. There's your backflow preventer, there's your flange adapter, and your coupling. You note that we got to change from 6-inch to 8-inch. Simple. You have 2,400 items in your data bank to do this, and each time you download it, you got today's prices, and watch these prices and labor change on the side. Bingo. We will now pass on down, and we have a tamper switches. We got 2 of them on the OS and Y valve. We have 2 of them to change or install or reinstall as proposed. We will have a setup, and we allowed 3 hours for that. We come down below the line and we see a number of items. We have miscellaneous. That's tape, putty, pipe dope, miscellaneous, nuts, bolts, whatever. It is strictly a miscellaneous. 8.425% represents your local and state sales tax. 5% is a inflation protection number, percentage. You bid this work in July, maybe you'll get it in December. In the meantime, you got some protection for price increase. However, it's also give you an opportunity to make some more money. 68.65 represents your sprinkler fitters foreman with union wages plus union and social benefits. Ditto for the journeyman, ditto for the apprentice. $50 an hour is charged per hour for every work hour in the field. We do not use a percentage markup. It's a number that is a bit confusing and you don't have anything to relate to. Here you have something to relate to. This is your overhead cost, your wages, your office clerks, help, professional services, insurance, gas, trucks, materials, inventory, whatever. They're not used on a job, of course, divided by the number of man hours you expect to use per year. It's a simple process, works well. It'll vary from $40 to $80 an hour depending upon your operation, but it gives you something relative to work with. We will need a permit. We have a permit. It's going to cost us, say, $65. You're going to want a 10%, but 200% for this permit to pay for the cost of maintaining your permit. Don't forget you get bonding and you have to attend in professional education units. It costs you money, and it's part of your overhead. All right, that's $7,189 for that backflow preventer to be reinstalled. But now we're going to replace a branch line. The branch line sprinklers are in 12-foot centers, so therefore the first piece of pipe can be estimated to be about 6 feet long. You have 3 lengths of 1.5 inches, so that's 36 feet. You have a length of 1.25 inches, that's 12 feet, and 2 lengths of 1 inch, that's 24 feet. We have 7 sprinklers. We got to borrow the price from the sprinkler page. We come over here, we capture it, copy it, transfer it, and paste it. Zap, you got it. That includes the unit price per the sprinkler and the labor to install it, just the sprinkler. You have a few fittings, a 1x1/2 L, 1 2-inch reducing T, 2 2.5 by 1.5 by 1/2 reducing T, 1 1.5 by 1.25 by 1/2 reducing T, 1.25 reducing T, and a 1 inch reducing T. We have the removal of the old pipe fittings, so forth. Got to get rid of it. You have 7 hangers. You may or may not need them, but you got a place to put them. You have orientation and setup. And it's called also drive time, whatever you want to call it. But every job has some orientation to it that somebody must pay for it. Why should you do it? 3% again for miscellaneous sales tax, and 5%. Again, it's such a small amount, there's no reason why you can't charge 100%. Foreman's wages, journeyman's wages, again, the $50 an hour for overhead. You want a little extra profit, it's already set up, and you think this is where you make money for your pocket. If you think that you can't get that much, you can reduce it, or you can increase it if you wish. There'll be no permits. There will be some fabrication costs. Let's get that. We go to fabrication, and we tell them we got 1 cut of 2 inch, 3 cuts of 1.5 inches, 1 1.25 inches, and 2 of 1 inch. We come down, and he will have to charge you for delivery. For that small amount, he'll probably charge you a delivery fee, and this is an estimate. This will be $71. Go back to and you'll find that fee in there. Right there it is, right there, for fabrication. Therefore, the charge for that work would be $3,618. That's at lightning speed. You produced it bid at lightning speed. We're going to retrofit an office. You're going to move 25 sprinklers. You're going to cap off 3 of them. Takes a little money and a little time. There's your money, there's your time. Half-hour piece. You got 25 arm overs for materials. It's extended out. You have escutcheons and expansion rings and labor for those. You got orientation and setup, and you got the same set of numbers you've seen before. And what if this is a tax-free job? It simply hits 0, no taxes. And you may say, well, I never get away with that. There's always some tax I must pay. Zap, you got 2% in there. You think you can do this in 54 hours? All right, reduce it by 2 hours. You say I would rather have an apprentice, put the apprentice in there. It still is 100% of the time. All the time is calculated. 5%, you think, well, maybe we can't get that, maybe 2%. All right, put something in there though. Your price to retrofit this job is $7,700. We do have some correction to make. Your engineer tells you you're going to spend $1,500 for permits and plan development. So we put $1,500 in it. That brings the price now is $8,588. We're going to install a dry sprinkler system in a 10,000 square foot area. You want to calculate what it's going to cost for the customer. You have 109 sprinklers that you calculate you're going to need. I did calculations on a water supply, and I proved that a 4-inch valve is adequate. There's a valve trim, accelerator, gauges, air maintenance device, air compressed piping, air compressor, valves, hardware, more hardware. You have 109 sprinklers. Your material costs about $40 per sprinkler. The piping from the riser, including the riser to the cross mains and into your branch lines. You have a setup and testing. 4 hours, 6 hours for testing. You got 2 men on the job. Might take you 3 hours to test it out. 5% for protection. Your wages, again, your $50 an hour for your overhead cost. And if you prove that your budget says that you can do this for $45 an hour, fine, change it. You have plan development at 5% and profit at 10%. You don't think you can get that? You can get something. After all, you're going to finance this job for these people. It's your money. You may wait 6 months to get paid, and your bank won't permit you to do that. Neither should you. Charge for it ahead of time, then you don't have to worry about it. It works. I know we did it. It works. That job, therefore, would be $47,624. I have a chance here to show you another feature of the program. As I said, it was 10,000 square feet. put in 10,000 square feet, and I'm looking for red flags, and you don't see any. But what if you made a mistake and it's really 12,000 square feet? Now you'll see a red flag and maybe more. All right, square feet per sprinkler is too high. What if I return that to 10,000 and I forgot 15% of my labor? I just put a minus 15 in there. That takes out 43 hours. Now you see some red flags.
That is a feature available on any program,
providing you enter the correct limits. Okay, we're going to replace a flow switch. We've chosen the flow switch to be 6-inch, and time is already set up in the flow switch to test them, but you still have to get to the job and get the flow switch, and you have some expense to getting there. Allowed 2 hours. You're already taking care of the testing. Our miscellaneous, our sales tax, we probably get 50% more. Your overhead is taken care of, and you may want 15% profit. Take every opportunity you can to make a profit. After all, you're financing these jobs for your customer, and sometimes you don't get paid. You may wait weeks, months, hopefully no more than a few months, but you can't do that with the bank. The bank will charge you. Your IRS will charge you. Everybody will be after you. So take it in advance. You got them. I've showed you a number of jobs, how we estimate them, how they can be estimated. I want to show you some of the features of the page. For instance, a swing check valve is identified in this fashion. I can change it to any size I wish.
I have 2,400 line items.
So I can change it. I can change it to a 6-inch. That's an option that you have. It's all done by the product number, and with it will come up the price. It looks up the price. It looks up the labor that you have set aside. This is your Viking downloaded data. You can download this over the internet 24/7. You don't have to call your supplier. You don't have to wait for him to send you the numbers. You've got 24 to 2,700 items automatically. And it's automatically transferred to my pages that I showed you. Every one of those numbers are updated immediately. As the job goes on, the time goes on, you can update this anytime you wish, and you can call the customer and say that job went up $100 or that job went down $100, whatever you discover. But you can do that only with the Viking process and only through the application as Accu-Rate provides. Again, there's the product number, there's the description of the product, and there is the labor, 98 hundredths of an hour, almost 55 minutes or so, to install a 4-inch 90-degree groove elbow. Now, you may say it's a lot of time. These numbers did not just happen to be showing there. They've been proven to be correct through the years, through many audits. They include the inventory of the item, and then on the job, you got to go hunt for it. You got to wait for it. You got to do all kinds of things. And you also have to include your service reserve. So the numbers work out very well. They can be found listed on PH Plumbing, Heating, Cooling Contractors Association data, or through the Mechanical Contractors Association, or through RF Means construction cost estimate, although they're slightly different. They're a little higher on RF Means, but they have great explanation
as to what they're for.
Through the years, I have worked with these numbers and learned to respect them. They are very useful, and as I apply them, they are accurate. Profits are won or lost before the job begins. Use the Accu-Rate estimating system to be assured you are the winner, to ease hunting for your message. You have just witnessed the Accu-Rate Fire Sprinkler Estimating System 104.